What if I told you that the very first words you speak each morning could shape the entire day? Your health, your happiness, your success. Imagine stepping out of bed not just ready to face the world, but ready to command it, to attract everything you desire simply by the power of your own words. Today, I'm going to share 9 powerful affirmations that will transform your mornings and set the tone for a life of abundance, joy, and victory. Beloved friends, every sunrise brings with it a fresh page of life's book. The words you speak over yourself in the morning set the tone for the story that will unfold. What you declare with conviction becomes your compass, guiding your steps into health, prosperity, peace, and divine right action. The tongue holds the key to doors seen and unseen. Therefore, the most powerful gift you can give yourself at the dawn of day is the gift of affirmation. Let us walk together through 9 affirmations that can shape your day with certainty and power. The first, I am one with the infinite supply of life, love, and abundance. The moment you rise, remind yourself that you are not separate from the source of all good. You are connected to an endless flow, and lack cannot live where divine supply reigns. The second, every step I take is ordered, and every decision is guided. No confusion can remain when truth directs your path. What is yours will find you, and what is not meant for you will pass by, leaving peace in its place. The third, I am a magnet for harmony, joy, and success. Life does not resist you, it responds to you. When you affirm harmony, discord dissolves. When you affirm joy, heaviness cannot remain. When you affirm success, opportunities hurry toward you. The fourth, I release every thought of fear, and I embrace faith as my companion. Fear is a shadow, but faith is the light. Speak faith, and the shadows vanish. Declare boldly, and watch how courage carries you through the unknown. The fifth, my words shape my reality. And today I speak only what I desire to see. You hold the brush that paints your world. Speak lack, and lack appears. Speak blessing, and blessings multiply. Guard your tongue, for it creates the harvest you will reap. The sixth, I forgive freely, and I am released into freedom. Grudges are chains, but forgiveness is the key. With every act of release, you step lighter, and the path before you opens wide with fresh possibility. The seventh, divine health flows through every cell of my body. You are not a prisoner of illness. Life itself courses through your veins, restoring, renewing, and strengthening. Declare it, and your body responds to the sound of truth. The eighth, I am fearless in the face of change, for every change carries me to greater good. Nothing is lost, everything is transformed. Every ending is a beginning, and every shift is a step toward the life prepared for you. And the ninth, today I walk in victory, for all things are working together for my highest good. Even when appearances suggest otherwise, know that the unseen hand arranges every detail in perfect order. Stand tall in this truth, and no obstacle can defeat you. Beloved, when you affirm these words each morning, you align yourself with a higher law. The law that answers faith with fulfillment. The law that honors the words spoken in confidence. Begin your day by commanding your good, and your day will unfold as a masterpiece of divine design. When the first light of morning breaks through the darkness, it carries with it an invitation to align yourself with the limitless abundance of life. So often people rise and allow their minds to immediately wander into worry, into the memory of yesterday's troubles or the anticipation of today's challenges. But to step into the morning with power, you must begin by affirming your oneness with infinite supply. The truth is that you are not separate from the source of all good. Whether you call it divine order, the universe, or the endless wellspring of life itself. Lack, fear, and limitation are illusions that fade when you recognize that you are part of an infinite current of love, abundance, and provision. Every breath you take proves this truth, for the air you breathe never runs out. It is given freely and abundantly, a reflection of the greater truth that supply is constant and unending. To affirm that you are one with infinite supply is to shift your perception from struggle to sufficiency. It is to stop chasing and begin receiving, to cease doubting and start trusting. The law of life responds to belief, and belief is shaped by the words you declare with conviction. If you rise each morning and tell yourself, "I am lacking, I am behind, I am not enough," life will reflect that belief back to you in every circumstance. But if instead you declare, "I am one with the infinite supply of life, love, and abundance," you set in motion forces unseen that draw to you opportunities, resources, and experiences that match your declaration. Infinite supply does not mean accumulation without purpose. It is not greed, nor is it the hoarding of things. It is the recognition that all you need is already within your reach, that every good thing required for your journey is prepared for you and will appear in right time and right way. When you affirm your oneness with abundance, you release the tension of striving and you step into the ease of knowing. This ease is not laziness. It is alignment. It is the awareness that you are connected to the source, and in that connection, you lack nothing. Look at nature for proof. The tree does not strive to bring forth fruit. It simply abides in its roots, drawing from the endless supply of the soil, the sun, the rain, and the air. The bird does not wake in fear, wondering if the sky will hold it or if the earth will withhold its nourishment. It simply takes flight, confident that what it needs is provided. So too must you rise with the certainty that you are rooted in supply that cannot run dry, and that your needs, whether material, emotional, or spiritual, are already accounted for. This certainty transforms your day. It quiets the restless thoughts that clamor for proof, and steadies the heart that trembles at the sight of obstacles. It opens your eyes to opportunities you might have otherwise missed, and trains your spirit to expect good in every corner of your experience. When you awaken to a new day, there is often a flood of choices awaiting you. What to do first, which path to take, how to respond to situations that arise. Every day is a series of decisions, large and small. In the midst of this constant choosing, it can feel overwhelming, as if you must carry the burden of knowing every outcome before you act. But when you affirm that every step you take is ordered and every decision is guided, you release the need to control every detail and step into the assurance that a higher wisdom is directing your path. There is a plan for your life that is greater than your limited view of circumstances, and when you acknowledge that your way is guided, you walk in calm confidence rather than anxious striving. Guidance does not always shout, often it whispers. It may come as an inner nudge, a quiet peace about one option, or even a closed door that protects you from walking into harm. Declaring that your steps are ordered invites you to trust these signals rather than ignore them. It allows you to see that delays, detours, and even disappointments are not random but can be redirections towards something far better than you imagined. When you begin your day affirming that every decision is divinely influenced, you open yourself to synchronicities, timely encounters, and effortless alignments that prove you are being led. So many live under the weight of regret, looking back at choices they wish they had made differently, but the one who affirms guidance frees themselves from this burden. Even what seemed like a misstep can be turned into progress when seen through the lens of divine order. Nothing is wasted. Every step contributes to the unfolding of your destiny. By declaring your steps are ordered, you refuse to see life as a series of random accidents and instead recognize it as a carefully woven pattern, where even the threads of challenge contribute to the beauty of the whole design. Imagine yourself as a traveler walking through unfamiliar terrain. Without a guide, every fork in the path brings fear of getting lost. But with a guide beside you, each turn becomes simple because you trust the one leading you knows the way. That is how life becomes when you affirm guidance every morning. Choices no longer need to be paralyzing, you can act with assurance. Knowing that even if you do not see the full map, the next step will be revealed at the right moment. There is no need to rush. No need to fear missing out, for what is meant for you cannot pass you by, and what is not meant for you will slip away without struggle. This affirmation quiets the restless mind and settles the heart. It brings relief to the weary soul that has tried too long to figure everything out. It teaches you to move with faith, to let go of overthinking, and to step forward with the confidence that unseen hands are arranging each detail for your good. It is not your job to know every answer, only to affirm that your decisions are guided, your steps are ordered, and the way ahead is made clear as you walk it. To affirm that you are a magnet for harmony, joy, and success is to declare that life itself is drawn toward you in its most beautiful and fruitful expressions. Many people rise each morning expecting conflict, heaviness, or failure, and by their expectation they unknowingly invite these very things into their experience. But when you choose instead to affirm harmony, joy, and success, you shift the energy around you, and what you project becomes what you attract. Life is not resisting you, it is reflecting you. The world around you mirrors the words you speak and the beliefs you hold, so if you rise with the certainty that you are a magnet for good, then circumstances, people, and opportunities naturally align themselves with that vibration. Harmony is the first fruit of this affirmation. To be a magnet for harmony means that even in the midst of noise, conflict, or chaos, you draw peace into your environment. Arguments dissolve more easily in your presence, misunderstandings find resolution, and people feel more balanced when they encounter you. This is not because the world outside suddenly changes overnight, but because your inner declaration changes the way you respond. When you affirm harmony, you carry yourself with calmness and grace, and life has no choice but to mirror that calm back to you. The storms may rage, but you remain the still center, attracting order where there once was discord. To affirm joy is to refuse to let circumstances dictate your emotional state. Joy is not dependent on possessions, achievements, or the approval of others. It is an inner wellspring, and by affirming that you are a magnet for joy, you awaken that spring within yourself. Joy becomes your natural state, and because like attracts like, more experiences that produce joy begin to flow toward you. People want to be near you, opportunities seem brighter, and even the smallest moments feel filled with wonder. When you affirm joy in the morning, the heaviness of yesterday cannot cling to you, and the burdens of tomorrow lose their grip. You walk through your day with lightness, and the world responds by offering you more reasons to rejoice. Success, too, is drawn by this affirmation. Success is not a single event. It is the continual unfolding of your purpose with grace and fulfillment. By declaring that you are a magnet for success, you align yourself with doors that open at the right time, with people who recognize your gifts, and with situations that allow your talents to shine. Failures are no longer final, but simply stepping stones guiding you toward greater achievement. You begin to expect progress rather than setbacks, and this expectation becomes the magnet that draws progress to you. Success comes not through striving and fear, but through alignment and faith in your declaration. When harmony, joy, and success surround you, you discover that you no longer need to chase after life. Life comes to you. The struggle eases, the effort softens, and what once seemed distant arrives naturally, as though it had been waiting for your affirmation to call it forth. By declaring yourself a magnet for these blessings, you walk through each day with the assurance that everything you need is already moving toward you, ready to manifest in perfect time. Fear is often the first intruder to step into the mind when the day begins, whispering of what might go wrong, of what may not work out, of dangers and disappointments yet unseen. Left unchecked, fear grows into a shadow that follows every step. draining strength and clouding clarity. Yet, fear has no true power of its own. It survives only on the attention it is given. Faith, on the other hand, is the light that disperses the shadow, the force that carries you forward with assurance, even when the way ahead seems uncertain. When you rise and affirm that you release every thought of fear and embrace faith as your companion, you make a deliberate choice to walk in light rather than darkness. Fear binds. It keeps people frozen in hesitation, locked out of opportunities, and held captive by what-ifs. It convinces them to stay small, to avoid risks, to shrink from dreams. But when you affirm faith, you declare that you are not subject to fear's lies. Faith tells you that what you need will be provided, that the path ahead is safe to walk, and that every challenge carries within it the seed of victory. Faith does not demand that you see the whole journey. It only asks that you take the next step in trust, knowing that the way will be revealed. Imagine standing at the edge of a dark path where you can only see a single step ahead. Fear screams that you should turn back. That danger hides in the darkness, that failure awaits. Faith whispers that the next step will be lit when you take it, and the one after that, and the one after that. In the moment you choose faith over fear, you discover that the shadows had no substance, that the path is not filled with destruction, but with opportunity waiting to be uncovered. Fear is always loud, urgent, and pressing, while faith is steady, quiet, and sure. When you affirm faith as your companion, you train yourself to listen for the calm voice within rather than the panicked cries of doubt. Releasing fear is not pretending it never appears. It is refusing to entertain it. It is acknowledging the thought but then answering it with the truth of faith. Fear may say, "You are not capable," but faith replies, "I am fully equipped for what lies ahead." Fear may whisper, "You will fail," but faith declares, "Every step I take is leading me to success in perfect order." Fear says, "You are alone," while faith reminds you, "I am guided and supported at every moment." In this exchange, fear loses its grip and faith takes root deeper in your spirit. The moment you affirm faith as your companion, your energy shifts. Your posture changes, your decisions strengthen, and your outlook brightens. Faith makes you bold where fear made you timid, creative where fear made you rigid, and hopeful where fear made you despair. Each time you choose faith, you are building a foundation that cannot be shaken, a path that grows clearer with every step you take. The words you speak each morning are far more than simple sounds. They are the building blocks of your reality, the invisible threads that weave the tapestry of your day. Every sentence you utter, every thought you allow to form on your lips, carries the power to attract or repel, to construct or to dismantle. When you rise and affirm that your words shape your reality, you claim your rightful authority over your life. You begin to understand that speaking from lack, doubt, or fear invites more of the same, while speaking from certainty, faith, and desire draws toward you the conditions and experiences that match your inner declaration. Words are not idle, they are seeds that grow in the soil of your consciousness. To speak with intention is to recognize that language is a form of creative energy. When you tell yourself, "I am struggling," "I can't," or "life is hard," you are planting seeds that grow into experiences, reflecting those statements. Conversely, when you affirm, "I am blessed," "I am capable," or "good flows to me effortlessly," you cultivate an invisible garden where hope, opportunity, and abundance flourish. The universe responds not to what you wish, but to what you declare with conviction. Repetition and clarity of words act as a compass, directing unseen forces to bring into form what has already been spoken within. Consider the way a gentle word can soften hearts and open doors. A simple expression of gratitude or affirmation can transform a relationship, ease tension, and create harmony where there was discord. The same principle applies to your relationship with life itself. By speaking positively and deliberately, you align yourself with the energy of creation rather than resistance. Your words are not merely reflective of your reality. They are the architects of it. Speaking only what you desire to see is an act of discipline and empowerment. It is choosing consciously what will inhabit your day rather than allowing random thoughts, fears, or external influences to dictate your experience. Begin each morning with a clear, deliberate declaration that you are worthy, that opportunities flow to you, that health, joy, and prosperity are your natural inheritance. When repeated consistently, these words condition your mind to recognize possibilities that might have gone unnoticed and strengthen your confidence to act upon them. Your words also carry weight in the energy you emit to others. A day begun with affirmation radiates outward, affecting your interactions, the people you encounter, and the environments you enter. Positive declarations create a ripple effect, influencing not only your own reality but the atmosphere around you. By choosing your words wisely, you engage in a conscious act of creation, steering your life toward the experiences and outcomes that serve your highest good. This principle calls for vigilance, for it is all too easy to speak unconsciously. Complaints, fears, or negativity repeated habitually can silently manifest undesired circumstances. By committing to speak only what you wish to see, you align yourself with the natural law of cause and effect, placing the power of creation firmly in your hands. Every day becomes an opportunity to shape reality consciously, to declare the world you desire into being, and to step fully into the life that matches the truth of your spoken word. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a key that unlocks the chains of resentment and opens the door to freedom. Holding on to anger, grudges, or bitterness weighs heavily upon the heart, clouding your perception and draining your energy. Each moment spent dwelling on perceived wrongs is a moment lost to fear, doubt, or negativity. When you affirm that you forgive freely and release yourself into freedom, you are choosing to step out of the prison of past hurts and into the light of peace and possibility. Forgiveness does not mean you condone wrongdoing or forget the lessons learned. Rather, it is an acknowledgement that carrying resentment only prolongs suffering and hinders your own progress. To forgive is to reclaim your power. When you hold on to resentment, you are giving another person, event, or circumstance control over your emotional state. You allow their actions to dictate your mood, your focus, and even your destiny. But when you choose forgiveness, you assert that your life is guided by your own truth, not by the past actions of others. You step into sovereignty, recognizing that your energy belongs to you and that no one can take from you what you consciously choose to release. Forgiveness also opens the heart to love, joy, and connection. Bitterness hardens the spirit and closes the channels through which blessings flow. By releasing grudges, you create space within yourself for positive experiences to enter. Relationships heal, misunderstandings resolve, and even your own self-perception transforms as you affirm your willingness to let go. This is not a superficial act, but a profound realignment with the natural order of life, which responds to openness, compassion, and release. Imagine carrying a heavy bag filled with stones labeled with every hurt, insult, or injustice you have experienced. Every step becomes more difficult under the weight, and your journey is slowed. Forgiveness is the act of setting down that bag, stone by stone, until your path is light, your steps unburdened, and your vision clear. When you rise each morning affirming that you forgive freely, you begin the day unencumbered, prepared to move with grace, to make decisions with clarity, and to embrace the opportunities that come your way without the shadows of yesterday dragging behind you. Forgiveness is not always immediate, nor is it always easy. It may require repeated affirmations, deep breaths, and a conscious choice to release thoughts that resist letting go. Yet each time you affirm your willingness to forgive, you are exercising spiritual strength, nurturing inner peace, and cultivating an environment where abundance, joy, and harmony can flourish. Freedom flows to those who release the burdens of resentment, and this freedom allows life to move effortlessly, opening doors that were previously blocked by emotional attachments to the past. By choosing forgiveness, you align yourself with a higher law, a principle of life that honors release, restoration, and renewal. Each act of letting go is a step toward mastery of your own inner world, a declaration that your happiness and fulfillment are not contingent upon the actions of others, but are born from the conscious decisions you make each moment. Forgiveness transforms the unseen atmosphere around you, creating harmony within and without, and setting the stage for every blessing you are ready to receive. Your body is a temple, a magnificent vessel through which life itself flows. Every cell, every organ, every breath carries the energy of vitality, intelligence, and divine design. Yet too often, we forget that health is our natural state, assuming that sickness, fatigue, or weakness are inevitable. When you affirm that divine health flows through every cell of your body, you remind yourself that wellness is not something to be earned, sought externally, or dependent on circumstance. It is inherent, always present, and available to you at every moment. This affirmation awakens your awareness to the life force that courses through you, reconnecting your mind, body, and spirit to the perfect order of your being. Health begins with the mind, for the thoughts you hold about your body influence its physical state. Fear, doubt, and worry can create tension and imbalance, whereas faith, confidence, and gratitude cultivate an environment where healing and vitality thrive. By declaring that divine health flows through every cell, you replace fear with assurance, scarcity with abundance, and weakness with strength. You speak to the intelligence within your body, reminding it to function in harmony, to repair, to restore, and to energize every system that sustains life. Imagine each cell as a tiny vessel of light, carrying the essence of vitality. When you affirm health, these cells respond to the command, aligning, energizing, and performing their roles with perfection. Your immune system strengthens, your circulation improves, your organs operate efficiently, and even your mental clarity sharpens. This is not wishful thinking, but a recognition of a fundamental law. That life naturally seeks balance, and when you cooperate with this law through affirmation, you accelerate and enhance its expression within your body. Affirming health also influences your habits, choices, and actions. When you begin the day declaring wellness, your body begins to attract what supports vitality. You are more likely to move, to nourish yourself, and to rest in ways that reinforce this declaration. You no longer see exercise, nutrition, or sleep as burdens, but as expressions of the life force you already possess. You walk through your day with lightness, energy, and resilience, and the world responds by supporting your vitality in countless subtle ways, from the ease of breathing to the strength of your limbs. Pain, discomfort, or past illness are not enemies to fight but signals to redirect your focus. When you affirm divine health, these signals are transformed from obstacles into guidance, reminding you to align with the innate intelligence of your body. Each affirmation, each thought, each declaration is a step toward restoring equilibrium and honoring the life force within. By speaking to your body in words of life and wholeness, you create an atmosphere in which healing can occur naturally, swiftly, and completely. Divine health is not something distant or external, it is your birthright. By affirming it each morning, you are not merely hoping to avoid illness or gain energy. You are acknowledging the perfection already present within. You are cooperating with a law that always seeks to restore balance, strengthen function, and maintain harmony. Through this conscious affirmation, you awaken a profound awareness of the vitality inherent in every fiber of your being, and you establish a foundation for life that flows with energy, strength, and resilience. Change is a constant companion in life, often arriving unannounced, challenging the familiar and urging us to step beyond the comfort of what we know. Many resist it, fearing that the unknown will bring loss, failure, or disappointment. Yet every change carries within it the seeds of greater good, waiting to be discovered by those willing to embrace it. When you affirm that you are fearless in the face of change, you align yourself with the natural flow of life, recognizing that transformation is not a threat but a gift. By embracing change, you open your mind and spirit to opportunities that would remain hidden if you clung stubbornly to the past. Life moves in cycles, and endings are simply beginnings in disguise. A job that ends may lead to a career more aligned with your purpose. A relationship that closes may create space for deeper connection or self-discovery. Even a challenge that seems insurmountable carries a lesson that propels you to higher understanding. Fear of change often magnifies temporary discomfort, obscuring the benefits that are quietly unfolding. By affirming fearlessness, you step into each new chapter with trust, knowing that the unseen hand of life is orchestrating circumstances for your highest good. Fear of the unknown often paralyzes the spirit, yet change is the mechanism by which growth occurs. Without it, life becomes stagnant, opportunities remain unrealized, and potential lies dormant. When you declare that you are fearless in the face of change, you actively choose to move forward with courage, understanding that every shift has a purpose. Even when the path seems unclear, your affirmation acts as a guiding light, giving you the confidence to take steps that might otherwise feel too risky or uncertain. Change becomes a partner, not an adversary, and you walk boldly into new experiences with eyes wide open to possibility. Consider the natural world. The seasons shift effortlessly. Trees shed their leaves to grow stronger in the spring. Rivers carve new paths to reach the sea. Nothing resists this flow, and nothing is lost. Every change contributes to growth, renewal, and abundance. Similarly, human life thrives when we adopt this perspective. By affirming fearlessness, you recognize that every ending is a necessary preparation for the next phase, and every obstacle is a catalyst that moves you closer to the life you are meant to live. You begin to see change not as something to endure, but as a vital force that shapes your journey, cultivates resilience, and expands your horizons. Affirming fearlessness also transforms your relationship with uncertainty. Rather than resisting the twists and turns of life, you meet them with openness, curiosity, and trust. You understand that the universe operates in alignment with your highest good, and that every event, no matter how disruptive it may appear, is orchestrated to guide you toward growth, opportunity, and fulfillment. By walking each day with this mindset, you cultivate inner strength, adaptability, and a spirit that welcomes rather than avoids transformation, allowing the blessings hidden within change to manifest naturally. Every morning offers a fresh opportunity to step fully into the life that is prepared for you, and when you affirm that today you walk in victory, you claim your power to rise above circumstances and align with the forces of life that work in your favor. Life may present challenges, obstacles, or unexpected turns, yet all things are cooperating for your highest good, even when appearances suggest otherwise. This affirmation is not a statement of wishful thinking, it is a declaration of truth, a recognition that unseen energies are arranging every detail of your experience to bring about your success, fulfillment, and growth. Walking in victory begins with the understanding that nothing happens by accident. Every encounter, every delay, every event, even those that seem inconvenient or discouraging, carries within it a purpose. The universe operates according to laws far greater than human comprehension, orchestrating circumstances to guide you toward your highest potential. By affirming victory, you attune yourself to these forces, allowing them to work on your behalf rather than against you. Your mind becomes a receptive channel, noticing opportunities that might have been overlooked, recognizing solutions that might have seemed hidden, and responding to life with confidence rather than doubt. Victory is not always loud or dramatic. Often it manifests in subtle ways. A clear path opening after a period of uncertainty, a timely message that provides guidance, a solution appearing just when it is needed. By declaring that you walk in victory, you cultivate the awareness to see these blessings and the gratitude to embrace them fully. Even setbacks are transformed, for you understand that what appears as delay or loss is simply preparation, refinement, or realignment toward a greater good that is yet to come. Each step, no matter how small, contributes to the overall unfolding of your success. This affirmation also strengthens resilience. Life may present challenges that test patience, character, and faith. Yet, when you rise each morning with the declaration of victory, you approach difficulties from a place of empowerment rather than fear. Obstacles no longer intimidate or discourage you, they become opportunities to demonstrate courage, wisdom, and persistence. You carry the inner assurance that no matter what happens externally, the ultimate outcome aligns with your good, and this knowledge liberates you from unnecessary worry or resistance. Walking in victory aligns your thoughts, words, and actions with a higher order of life. Your interactions, decisions, and intentions all begin to resonate with this truth, and you notice that doors that once seemed closed begin to open, relationships become more harmonious, and circumstances adjust to support your progress. This is not a magical promise, but a natural outcome of aligning with a principle that governs life, that those who walk with faith, clarity, and positive expectation find that the unseen forces of the universe work to bring them into harmony with their highest good. As you affirm victory each day, you cultivate a mindset of expectation, confidence, and gratitude. You see that even challenges serve a purpose, that every detail contributes to a greater design, and that life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated process working to manifest your well-being, success, and fulfillment. In walking with this awareness, you transform your perception of the day, your experience of circumstances, and your engagement with the world, allowing victory to become the natural expression of your life. When you begin each day with the awareness that affirmations align you with higher spiritual laws, you step into a life of conscious creation where every thought, word, and action carries significance. These laws operate whether you recognize them or not, and they respond faithfully to the vibrations you emit. The principle is simple yet profound. What you affirm with belief and consistency becomes the blueprint for your experience. By speaking words of faith, abundance, health, and success each morning, you are not merely hoping for favorable outcomes. You are actively participating in the shaping of your reality. This conscious alignment transforms your life from one of reactive living to one of deliberate creation. Spiritual laws respond to the quality and consistency of your thoughts. When you focus on lack, limitation, or fear, you unconsciously draw experiences that mirror those vibrations. Conversely, when you affirm that you are worthy, abundant, healthy, and guided, the universe arranges circumstances to reflect these truths. This alignment is not always immediate or dramatic, but it is constant. Each affirmation acts as a signal, a declaration that resonates through the unseen realms, attracting into form the people, opportunities, and conditions that correspond to the energy you radiate. Consistency is key, for repeated affirmation strengthens the signal, making it more precise and potent, allowing the law to work more effectively on your behalf. Understanding that your words and thoughts create your reality also empowers you to take responsibility for your experiences. You realize that blaming circumstances, other people, or external conditions for misfortune is unnecessary, because the true source of creation lies within. By choosing your words with care, speaking only that which you wish to manifest, and focusing on thoughts that uplift and inspire, you become a conscious architect of your life. Every morning, When you affirm your alignment with these higher principles, you set the tone for the day, directing energy toward your highest good and reinforcing the habits, mindset, and perspective that will guide you through every challenge and opportunity. This principle also cultivates a sense of peace and trust. When you acknowledge that your affirmations are harmonizing with universal laws, you release the need to control outcomes, manipulate circumstances, or force results. Instead, you move forward with confidence, knowing that your words, thoughts, and intentions are attracting what is meant for you in perfect timing. Challenges no longer feel like obstacles, but rather like guidance, opportunities, or adjustments orchestrated to bring your affirmations into clearer manifestation. You begin to notice patterns, synchronicities, and responses in your life that confirm the truth of this law, strengthening your faith and deepening your sense of connection to a larger intelligence. Through this conscious practice, life becomes an unfolding of possibility rather than a series of random events. Each day is infused with purpose, clarity, and empowerment, and you discover that the circumstances, people, and events you encounter are naturally drawn to support the truths you declare. Affirmations, therefore, are not merely words, they are tools of alignment, instruments of creation, and keys to unlocking the harmony, abundance, and fulfillment that the higher laws of life are always ready to provide. By beginning each morning with this awareness, you position yourself to experience a life of intentional growth, effortless guidance, and continuous manifestation. The overarching principle of these affirmations is that when practiced consistently, they align you with higher spiritual laws and empower you to live intentionally rather than reactively. Life is governed by universal principles that respond to your thoughts, words, and beliefs, whether you are aware of them or not. By consciously choosing the affirmations you speak each morning, you place yourself in harmony with these laws, creating a foundation for experiences that reflect your highest good. This alignment transforms ordinary days into extraordinary opportunities, and challenges become stepping stones rather than obstacles. Understanding this principle allows you to step into your creative power, recognizing that your reality is not dictated solely by external circumstances, but by the internal declarations you make. When you affirm health, abundance, guidance, victory, forgiveness, joy, and fearlessness, you are tuning into the frequencies of life that correspond with these ideals. The energy of your words acts as a signal that attracts experiences, people, and circumstances that match the vibration you emit. Life responds not to wishful thinking alone, but to focused, deliberate, and consistent affirmation. By starting each day with this practice, you set a tone of intention that permeates your thoughts, your decisions, and your interactions, creating a ripple effect that extends outward into every aspect of your experience. This principle also teaches responsibility and empowerment. When you recognize that your words shape your reality, you understand that you are not a passive participant in life, but an active creator. External events, the actions of others, and unforeseen circumstances may still arise, but your response is now guided by conscious choice rather than unconscious reaction. You are equipped to navigate challenges with clarity, courage, and confidence because you have anchored yourself in the truth that life responds to the energies you cultivate. By affirming alignment with higher laws, you maintain authority over your own perception, mood, and direction, allowing you to act from a place of power rather than fear. Furthermore, consistent affirmation strengthens faith and trust in the unseen. Life often unfolds in ways that are not immediately apparent, and outcomes may not always match expectations. Yet, when you continue to align with these laws through affirmation, you develop patience and confidence that the right results will manifest in perfect timing. The mind becomes attuned to opportunities, the heart opens to guidance, and the spirit grows resilient in the face of uncertainty. You learn to perceive challenges as temporary adjustments orchestrated to support your growth, rather than permanent limitations or failures. By integrating these affirmations into your daily routine, you create a living practice of intentionality. Each day begins with clarity, purpose, and a conscious commitment to align with the highest truths of life. This principle does not promise a life free from difficulty, but it does promise empowerment, peace, and the ability to navigate life with grace. Over time, the repeated act of affirming your alignment with these higher laws transforms not only your experience of the day, but the trajectory of your entire life, establishing a foundation for continuous growth, fulfillment, and manifestation of your deepest desires. Remember, the words you speak each morning are more than just words. They are the seeds of your reality. By affirming abundance, health, guidance, joy, and victory, you align yourself with the life you are meant to live. Begin each day with these declarations and watch how your world transforms, step by step, into the masterpiece you were created to experience.